Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Taurus, December 1, 2022. Today's Mercury-Mars opposition can pull up tensions and stir disagreements. This transit can be a little rough around the edges and can have a disruptive way of bringing buried frustrations to the surface. Even so, it's one way of getting things out on the table. Technical problems or delays may be frustrating. There can be an accelerated pace, a big rush, or scheduling issues to manage, and it's best to avoid communicating or deciding something too quickly while under pressure. Worries about the things you haven't done can be at the root of tensions. Or, this can be a time of feeling scattered and unfocused and at a loss as to where to begin. If you've recently felt undervalued, particularly when it comes to work or your daily chores and contributions or the unseen things you do, this can reach a boiling point. Later today, your usual cool head returns as Mercury and Saturn harmonize. There's strong potential for sorting out money or personal possessions. You're in a strong position to take stock of the resources you have at your disposal. You have a clearer vision of what's worthwhile to you, and your resourcefulness can lead you to meaningful conclusions. Better waves are radiating down upon you from the heavens above. Your planetary ruler, Saturn, will smile peacefully over to Mercury today in the celestial sky. Get ready for a more practical, realistic, and honest approach to communicating with your one and only. This is a fantastic moment to map out your goals and what you'd like to create as a team, not only in the months ahead but the years beyond, as well. You'll have a strong sense of clear thinking and judgment, bringing you the far-sighted vision you are so famous for. Be sure to assess the details. Is it time to voice your opinion? With everything going on at work right now, you might feel like you are in a tailspin with Mercury in Sagittarius opposing Mars retrograde in Gemini. Today's opposition is encouraging you to pause for the cause. Instead of saying yes to new opportunities or more work, you may want to reconsider how much more you take on with everything else on your plate. Do not be afraid to ask for help or to let your colleagues know if you are floundering. You do not have to do everything by yourself. The moon might leave your income sector today, but a friendly aspect between Saturn here and Mars in your work sector will not only continue but isn't even due to peak until tomorrow. This makes the sharp nose for money the moon leaves you with invaluable, while making it easier to remain emotionally and intuitively engaged as you navigate your way through some powerful days on the income and job fronts. Great understanding for others is the name of your game. With today's aspect at play, you will be able to see even more clearly what others feel. One of your weaknesses, however, is not clearly knowing how you feel. This may sound strange, but try talking to someone about your own emotions, and you will find that the shoe doesn't quite fit the other foot. One way to start tapping into your hidden feelings: keep a dream journal. Your natural vibration is all about you, and it should prove to be a terrific day. Consider taking some of your leadership abilities and applying them to a role that provides support and counsel to others. This is a worthy endeavor for you. Chances are you provide this sort of thing informally to friends and family already, but have you ever considered doing it on a formal level? Think about this, and if it interests you, check out what you'd need to do to make it happen. Just a week before Mercury, the planet of communication, is due to return to Capricorn, the moon not only returns to your communication sector but to guide Jupiter into his final 3 weeks here. This begins an important few days on the communication front, but days that are also a stepping stone to communication becoming even more important over the coming weeks. As the moon's last visit before Neptune turns direct here over the weekend, this is also a chance to give the past and unsaid words a voice. In a case of perfect timing, the moon not only returns to your communication sector on the same day that Jupiter moves into his final 3 weeks here, but during Neptune's final days in retrograde motion. Jupiter turned direct last week, but until Neptune turns direct over the weekend, the moon returns with a chance to move things forward while giving the past and any remaining unsaid words a voice. Our eyes in the sky. Try to get in some light exercise before heading off to work, and try to avoid grabbing that extra cup of coffee or it could lead to a case of the jitters. Today has a cerebral vibe that might get the better of you, making it important that you ground yourself and focus on your breath throughout the day. Should you begin to feel overwhelmed, take a step back and rest, if only for a few minutes. Watch out for a communication breakdown this afternoon when the moon shares an off-kilter connection. Choose your words with care while this energy is present so you can avoid arguments. Your ability to understand any situation is good and you're able to undertake any sort of mental task. Equally, you're communicating without any difficulty, so possible negotiations or similar conversations turn out to be successful. You also find your general level of curiosity is heightened and you're keen to acquire knowledge and learn as much as you can. You apply yourself to a subject that has stimulated your interest over a sustained period. It's easier for you to obtain the necessary focus you need and you're more motivated than you have ever been before. Use this newfound enthusiasm and concentrate on making contacts to solve any outstanding issues needed for a successful outcome. Luckily, the energy transforms this evening, which should help you quickly release any unpleasant thoughts or situations you found yourself in today. The cosmic weather is quiet today, until Mercury in Sagittarius opposes retrograde Mars in Gemini, provoking a war of words. Offensive or defensive language is unlikely to help us make our point. We are nervous and quick to anger, and although we may have good talking points to back up our arguments, we are apt to flit from talking point to talking point without finishing our thoughts. Our inability to stay on topic means that civilized discussions can quickly devolve into yelling matches. We are still in a long lunar void, of course, which began last night, and must attempt to remain patient now, even if someone is intent on getting up in our faces. If possible, avoid electing this day to finally air out long-held grievances. Guard against the perils of extravagance and overindulgence in any way you can. Your current fantasies are unlikely to be fulfilled, they're just excessively optimistic. Try not to feel so dissatisfied with your circumstances and be as realistic as possible, instead of needlessly having such impractical feelings and yearnings that ultimately don't make you happy. If the response you get from prospective dates is not always positive, consider how your approach might be improved. You may want to ask what you could change about yourself. Becoming more self-aware can help you understand what to change or at least help you appreciate another's point of view or not. It will be hard interacting with people today. You overreact to the smallest things and feel completely misunderstood. It would do you good to take a step back, clear your thoughts and start tackling the arguments in a calmer way. In the late afternoon, the moon enters Pisces, ending its void of course which began late last night. Over the next 2 days, our creative and spiritual senses are enlivened. This is a time to trust our intuition, examine our subconscious workings, and get in touch with the numinous and liminal. It is an ideal lunar period for working with divination techniques like tarot or scrying. Artistic pastimes such as painting or making music are also favored. If we are stressed, bathing, showering, or relaxing near bodies of water can be rejuvenating.